What is the achievement gap?
No one ever talks about it.
The achievement gap, I don't know, feel me?
Not really sure what the achievement gap is.
I always thought the achievement gap was the gap between what I learned and everybody else learned.
Says that white kids do better than black kids.
The achievement gap is where black students perform worse than white students, and it's based on CAP scores and standardized testing.
Sadly, few students know about the broad differences in the academic performance of kids of various ethnicities. In reality, the achievement gap is a serious academic problem in our schools. Black students have a 10.5% average in math and a 24.2 average in reading and writing sections, but white students have an average of 57% in math and a 63.3 average in reading and writing. It's not just black students, but Hispanic students as well. Terrell Hill, Vice Principal at Windsor High School, explains.
The achievement gap that's most commonly referred to is the gap between the academic performance of students of color, primarily African American, but also Hispanics as well, and our white students and Asian students. So in other words, the white students and Asian students tend to score higher on various tests and measurements used throughout our school districts.
What do you think is causing the achievement gap?
Well, I think there are many factors. First and foremost, I think we can start at home. Parents have to make sure that they're preparing their students for school. They can't wait until they get to school, be it preschool or kindergarten, and expect the teachers and the staff in the schools to quote-unquote bring the kids up to speed. Very often in the homes of wealthier people or white families, there are lots of books in the home, parents are reading, a lot of the programming that the kids are allowed to see are educational in nature, and very often it's just the opposite in the home of the students of color.
How can we change this gap?
We can help by offering extra help to students that need it.
A lot of students feel as though they can't change the achievement gap, but basically my solution to it is if we stop looking at ourselves like a statistic, stop counting yourself as just a number, then your scores will get better.
Well, I think it starts at home. If parents aren't giving their kids books and types of literature to read, how can they expand their reading scores?
I would think that you would eliminate tracks because I kind of feel like less than the honor kids, so they wouldn't try as hard. So I would think getting rid of tracks and putting everyone in a classroom together would encourage people to try really hard.
What has Windsor High School done to try and close the achievement gap?
Well, I think in my 7 years here, we've worked to kind of alleviate that issue as I just talked about with the high honors classes where, by far the majority of students are white. To make sure that teachers and counselors in the middle school are looking at students not just in the CMT scores and grades, but true academic ability. We're educators, we're all professional. We should be able to look at a student even if he or she is acting up in class, and we can tell when a student has the ability to do well in a particular course. And to make the recommendation for that student to be in high honors courses. Also, encouraging students to get out of their comfort zone when they're here in the high school and to take the AP courses.
Please help us close this gap. We are too smart not to succeed.